Alright, Title 40 CFR 60, 42-11, order of compliance requirements for the owner and operator of the stationary compression ignition internal combustion engine. 60, 42-11, order of compliance requirements for allowing the owner and operator of the stationary compression internal compression ignition internal combustion engine. If I am an owner, operator must comply with the mission statement specified within Subpart must do all the following except for the permitted on paragraph G of this section. One owner maintain with the stationary compression ignition internal combustion engine control the device according with the manufacturer mission related right and instruction change only with the mission related settings that are permitted by the manufacturer. Meet requirements of Title 4 CFR 1068 with they apply to you. If you're an owner and operator with the pre-2000 for the 7th model year with the stationary compression ignition internal combustion engine must comply with the mission statement specified in 60, 4204A and 4205A. If you're an owner and operator with the fire pump, compression ignition, fire pump engine with the manufacturer prior with the model year to Table 3 for the Subpart must comply with the mission standard specified in 60, 4205C. You must demonstrate the compliance according to one of the methods specified in paragraph B through 5 of this section. Purchasing an engine certified to the mission standard for the same model year of the maximum engine described in Title 4 CFR 1039-1042. Example, the engine must be installed and configured in accordance with the manufacturer's specification. Keep the record of the performance test result of each pollutant the test conducted in a similar engine. This may have conducted you the same method specified in Subpart with the must have the following correctly. Keep the record of the engine manufacturer indicated compliance with the standard. Keep the record control the device vendor of the data indicating compliance with the standards. Conducting initial performance to do the test demonstrate the compliance with the emission standard according with the requirements specified in 60, 4212 that is applicable to C. If the owner and operator of the 2007 model year or later the internal combustion engine must comply with the emission standards specified in 60, 4204B and 60, 4205B. If the owner and operator of the compression internal engine fire pump engine of the manufacturer during the model year with the apply of the fire pump engine with the power rating of the Table 3 for the Subpart must comply with mission standards specified in 60, 4205C with the must pay by purchasing engine certified with the mission standards 62, 4204B, 62, 4205B and C. It's applicable to the same model of the year with the maximum of the case of the fire pump national fire protection staying in play with the engine power of the engine must be installed configured according to the manufacturer emission related specification except that is permitted with the paragraph G of this section. D. If the owner and operator must comply with the emission standards specified in 60, 4204C and 60, 4205D with demonstrate compliance with the requirements specified in the paragraph D through 3 of this section. Conduct an initial performance test over the initial compliance with the emission standard with the specified in 60, 4213. 2. Establish operating parameter demanded for the continuously to ensure the stationary internal combustion engine continue to meet the emission standard. The owner and operator must position the administrator with the approval of the operating parameters to be monitored continuously with the position must include the information described in paragraph D2 of the before of this section. Identification of specific parameters of the monitoring continuously the discussion relationship between the parameters of nitrous oxide particle matter emissions and identify how the emissions of these pollutants change with emission of the parameters, how limitation of the parameters to serve with the nitrous oxide particle emission, the discussion how to establish upper and lower values for the parameters will establish the limits of the parameters for the operating limitations. Discuss identify the method of the instrument you will use to monitor these parameters as well as the relative accuracy precision of these methods and instruments. Discussion identifying with the frequency and methods of the recalibrating the instruments you will use to monitor these parameters for. Now, the emergency engine of the displacement greater than or equal to 30 liters per cylinder for the conducting annual performance tests to demonstrate the continuously compliance with the emission standards specified in 60, 4213. If you're an owner and operator modified with a reconstruction stationary internal combustion engine, they must comply with the emission standards specified in 60, 4204E, 60, 42F, they must demonstrate the compliance with accordance with one method specified in E1 through or 2 of this section. One purchasing, otherwise owning, operating the engine certified with the emission standards of the 62, 4204E and 62, 4205F is applicable. Conducting in a performance test with the demonstrator the initial complying with the emission standard according with the requirements of 46 Part 60, 4212 of the 4213 is appropriate. Test must be conducted within 60 days after the engine commences the operation of or after the modification reconstruction. Alright, F. If you own and operate an emergency stationary internal combustion engine, you must operate with the emergency stationary internal combustion engine according to the requirements of paragraph of the F1 through F3 of the section orders of the engine suited emergency stationary with internal combustion under the subpart of the operation other than emergency operation maintenance testing operation in non-emergency situation for the hours per year with described in paragraph 1 through 3 is prohibited if you operate with the engine according to the requirements paragraph F through 1 through 3 of the engine will not be considered as an emergency engine under the subpart with the meets all it must meet all of the requirements of the non-emergency engines. There's no time limit to the emergency and stationary internal combustion engine emergency situation must operate with the emergency internal combustion engine for the purpose of the specified in paragraph F2.1 of the section maximum 100 hour per calendar year in operation with the non-emergency situation allowed in paragraph F3 of this section as part of the 100 hours per calendar year allowed for the paragraph F2. Emergency situation internal combustion engine that must be operated with a maintenance check with a readiness test with the provide with the test recommended with the federal, state, local government, the manufacturer, the vendor, with the regional transmission organization, equivalent balance authority with the transmission, operated with the insurance company, with the associated with the engine, with the owner, and operated with the main permanent, with the administrative, with the approval of the additional hours that be used. Maintenance check readiness test, but petition is not required with the owner and operated with the maintenance record with the indicated with the federal, state, local standard with the required maintenance testing, include emergency internal combustion engine beyond 100 hours per calendar year. 3. Reserve the 3 at emergency stationary internal combustion engine may be operated with up to 50 calendar hours per calendar year with a non-emergency situation. 50 hours of operation non-emergency situations conducted as part of a 100-hour per calendar year for the maintenance testing provided for the paragraph F2 for the section, except the provided in paragraph F3.1 for the section. 50 hours per calendar year for the non-emergency situation cannot be used on peak shaving, non-emergency demand response, or to generate income for a facility, the electric grid, otherwise supply power as part of the financial arrangement with the other NAA. 50 hours per year for the non-emergency situation can be used on sole supply power as part of the financial arrangement with any other if all of the following conditions are met. The engine is dispatched with local balancing authority with local transmission distribution system operator. Dispatch is intended to mitigate local transmission distribution limitation as to the aid of avert with the potential violate the voltage collapse of line overloads that could lead to the interruption of the power supply with local area and regions. The displaced valve with reliable emergency operation similar protocol for the following specific NEARC, regional, state public utility commission, local standard guidelines. To the power provided with not only to the facility itself and support the local transmission and distribution system. 3. The owner and operator identified with the record in either the dispatch of the engine with specified with the NERC with the regional, state, public utility transmission, local, state standard guidelines that are being filed with the dispatch of the engine, local balance authority with the local transmission and distribution system operator to meet the requirements on behalf of the engine owner and operator. 3. The reserve. G. If you do not install the figured operator to maintain with your engine for the control of the device according with the manufacturer's emission-related written and instruct for the new chain with the emission-related settings and with a way that are not permitted by the manufacturer, you demonstrate for the compliance for all with if you the owner and operator of the station compression ignition internal combustion engine with the maximum engine power less than 100 horsepower. You must keep the maintenance plans recorded and conduct the maintenance demonstrated compliant with the must meet to the extent of the practical maintain operable engine manner consistent with a good air pollution control practice to minimize emission. In addition, you do not install if you do not install the figure of the engine control the device according to the manufacturer's emission-related written instruction or change the emission-related settings in the way that is not permitted, the manufacturer must conduct the initial performance tests so that demonstrate the compliance with the applicable emission standards within 1 year of such action. Or if an owner and operator with a stationary compression internal combustion engine is greater than or equal to 100 horsepower, less than or equal to 500 horsepower, you must keep the maintenance record with the record the conduct of the maintenance and must be to the extent practical to maintain and operate the engine if the manner consistent with a good air pollution control practice to minimize emission. In addition, you must conduct the initial performance test with the demonstration for complying with the applicable emission standard with a 1 year startup within 1 year after the engine for the control of the device is no longer installed. Figured operated to maintain in accordance with the manufacturer emission with the relief of the instruction within 1 year after the change of the emission-related settings in a way that's not permitted by the manufacturer. 3. If your own operator station compression ignition internal combustion engine greater than 500 horsepower, you have to keep the maintenance plan with the record for the conduct of the maintenance for the must do with the extent of the practical for the maintain with the operator of the engine for the manner consistent with a good air pollution control. Practice with the minimize the emission. In addition, you must conduct with the initial performance tests of the demonstration for the complying with the applicable emission standard with up to 1 year startup within 1 year after the engine and the control device is no longer installed with the figured operative to maintain with the accordance with the manufacturer emission related with the written instruction within 1 year after the change of the emission-related settings in a way that is not permitted by the manufacturer. Must conduct the subsequent performance test of the 8,760 hours of the engine operation or 3 years, whichever comes first thereafter, the demonstration of the compliance with the applicable emission standards. Age of the requirements for the operator prohibited to act specified in the Title 40 CFR 1039-665 and applied to the owners of the operative of the station compression ignition internal combustion engine AECD for the qualified emergency situations filed in Title 40 CFR 1039-665. Title 40, 60, Title 40, CFR 604211, the water am I complying with the requirements of an owner operator of the stationary compression internal combustion engine.